Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mechabellum. Thank you all for joining us once again. We have our first ever viewer sent in video. This is a 2v2 Take My Grits and Stoned Caveman versus Dr. Pouncy Silver Kitten and Glorious Inviction. I'm joined today, co-casting with my lovely co-captain.
Bree!
Okay, I like the small delay.
I didn't know if you were going to say my name or if I was saying my name.
Yeah, I guess I should have let that be known. So this is a 2v2. It's going to be a little bit of madness. I'm not actually sure who our main viewer is, just because the email address is obviously different than your IGN name. But hey, here's to hoping that it's a good one.
We're rooting for you.
We're rooting for you, whether you're Take My Grits or Stoned Caveman.
Or Dr. Pouncy Silver Kitten.
I don't think they'll be the red players. oh, I'm colorblind, so my wife is trying to trick me. It seems like the left side, I do like this deployment here. We have heavy armor specialist and speed specialist, not two specialists that we see very often taken in the tournament scene, versus an aerial specialist and an elite specialist. It is worth noting that in a 2v2, it's sometimes worth taking the off-brand specialists, i.e. not the strongest specialists, just because then you have a lot more HP. And HP in 2v2s mean a lot more, at least in my mind, just because you're able to communicate longer with your teammate to make more succinct strategies. Looks like the top end part of the field will go the way of the red team. How's it going in the bottom field? Ooh, looking much more like the blue. And I do prefer this map for the 2v2s as well, because your units can condense if you lose one of the flanks back into the center, and there's quite a bit of battle. What is your thoughts and opinions on this battle as it develops here, Sweet Pea?
Well, I didn't even know you could do 2v2, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How many teammates can you have?
Up to 2 players per each team. I would really like it if there was a battle royale mode. In fact, I was working on an email to the developers and explaining how I think this could work. But like a round
Where
robin.
It's like a one for all?
Yeah, so there'd be 8 players in each of the central cardinal locations on the map, and there would be like a main center objective that they would fight over. But also you could deploy units on the flanks or in other ways to attack your neighbors. And in doing so, if you were to kill off their towers or in some way secure something, earn benefits in order for the next round to do other things. So you're constantly in like this push-pull kind of thing, or even in a 2v2 situation. We've seen Stoned Caveman here grabbing the haste module. Take My Grits gets nano haste. Okay, it's even Stevens across the board. Now these Phoenix are very important because there's only one flying unit on the board. If all of the units that can shoot up die, i.e. units like the Fang, units like the Marksman that can actually shoot down these flying units, all of a sudden the red team wins. So I always recommend, especially in a 2v2 situation, have a unit that maybe doesn't fit your builds, but is just an odd unit out. So for instance, all of these steel balls and all of these Fang, it's just very mono. And mono units are good, but the diversification in 2v2 is even more important, because then you just have a chance to say, hey, listen, I'm going to play one Phoenix. My opponent's going very heavy into the ground. You just make sure you don't play very many aerial units, and then the enemy team has no reason to pick them up. Let's watch this engagement here in the center. Lots of sentry missiles, and this will absolutely devastate this force. Ooh, but even better sentry missiles back, taking several more units, and these snipers will stand proud. We know that this will go his way in the bottom. Let's take a look at the northern. Wow, looks like our middle players are going to be able to push through in the north once again. Sweet Pea, what are your thoughts?
A lot of stuff is happening. I'm into it. I feel like the missiles are bigger and stronger than they were
Previously?
Like, is this because it's 2v2, like, you get better equipment quicker?
No. So those sentry missiles are very important in positioning. So what had happened is that the sentry missiles do a little bit of splash damage. So you see how these marksmen keep pace with these units all very well? If a sentry missile was to land right in the center here, it would actually kill all of these units together.
But that's bad.
That's very bad. So I would recommend most players don't stick your units, especially in the deployment phase.
Close together.
Yeah,
spread
don't
them out.
have them physically touching. Even that 5 meters can make a difference. And it's okay to have fast and slow moving units together. I.e. something like these Mustang will heavily outpace the snipers. Ooh, good shots here by these tanks. They may be able to pick up the rest of these Mustang and some of these crawlers for their lives.
Now that slowed them down, right?
Correct. Destroying the enemy's command or research centers deals a 70% damage debuff and also 70% movement debuff. And these tanks actually scoring that kill will be able to pick up the sniper. Ooh, poor little sniper. He does earn himself a level.
He's trying his best.
He tried his best. So another win here for Take My Grits and his partner. Stoned caveman. Man, if I was a caveman, I'd get stoned all the time.
For sure.
Yeah, just knowing that there's like some type of saber-toothed tiger waiting around the corner, I'd be like, mushrooms, baby. Lots of intelligence marksmen, and what was that? It looked like somebody picked up a deployable. I'm not sure what though. It was green. Maybe the enhancement module. Lots of snipers. Ooh, and a Vulcan. Currently, right now, we have been seeing a lot of Vulcan and snipers, or a lot of Vulcan and Phoenix in the meta. I like this deployment strategy here by our red player, just because this gives him a lot of flexibility. He has quite a few fast units. He's got some good damaging single point damage units, and it's a very good negation to the steel balls. Now, the steel balls have linked their HP, the damage sharing, meaning that all of these units, all 10,000 HP is going to be shared 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, so on and so forth. It's very strong against single points of damage, but not very good against continuous damage, i.e. Something like other melting points or steel balls will do very well against these steel balls. Not only that, if these snipers just eventually are able to push out enough damage, they will kill. But I have a feeling this will go in the way of the steel balls just because these crawlers most likely won't be dealing too much damage to them anymore. But you can see how they're all spreading their HP there. Oh, and it's not looking good for these steel balls on the right. It does help you keep your DPS up a little bit longer, though. So a lot of players look down on the damage sharing. I'm kind of in that situation as well. Blammo! It does look cool, though. But it does help keep your steel balls all dealing damage at the same time. So what can happen is when a steel ball dies, its damage falls off completely, of course. It's dead, but those steel balls take a while to ramp damage. Looks like it's a tale of two cities again, as once again this northern side gets cleaned up. It's down to our player in the south. He has snipers, no upgrades, and somehow I clicked on the dead Vulcan. Yeah.
Oh no.
Poor little guy, he's down there dead. I don't know who I'd give this to. It really depends on these opening shots by the marksman. Has this guy taken any damage?
Not giving up.
They're not giving up. Ooh, he probably should have given up. Dark days.
But he's on his last leg too, right?
Yes, everybody's pretty low. In fact, I think these Fang are going to be the deciding option here, as each Fang will absorb a full sniper shot. Meanwhile, these snipers are getting into range. Oh no.
Is it a sniper or the marksman that are the big guys?
Marksmen are the big guys. I call them snipers because
Okay.
they're snipers.
I was confused.
Yeah, marksman is 2 syllables, sniper is 1. And
No.
I,
Sniper.
marksman. Fuck, she's right.
I know.
Oh no! I'm just dumb. Oh no! All right, you're off the channel. We have Dr. Pouncy Kitten versus Glorious. Oh, that's his name. Glorious Inviction. That's what I've been looking at where it was yellow. Smoke coming out here.
So wait, did they switch teams?
No,
right?
they're all on
Okay,
the same
so I
teams.
thought.
I just, I'm not used to a player having yellow behind them to indicate their like team thing. I'm just so used to casting 1v1s.
Yeah.
Fire pop in here will actually deal a ton of damage. It doesn't seem like it, but ooh, actually, I don't know if this fire is a good thing or not. The steel balls will be able to ignore the fire for a long time. Unfortunately, they'll sit in the fire for a long time. But these Mustang and crawlers will also go into the fire and all burn. Smoke coming out here. I do like this by our blue players. So the smoke is normally considered a damaging thing. What the smoke does is, of course, it cuts off visibility inside it, meaning that units inside it can't shoot out as well. It halves their range. But in doing this, by deploying it on your own field, the enemy has no chance to negate it with something like shields. So if you have a lot of units like your opponent is playing a lot of these very lightly armored units that have to get into short range, crawlers and Mustang especially, play the fire on your own areas because all of these little units will run into the fire and burn to death. Unfortunately, I think we're just going to see a mass burning here.
So is it just like a wall of flames?
It's just like napalm. Yep.
Nice.
And that will deal a ton of damage to these steel balls because they're all sitting in it. So they're all taking that tick damage. They're all sharing the damage. Not great.
They're hanging in there.
They're hanging in here. To our south, Mass Phoenix versus a couple of Vulcan. Lots of snipers. There is not a lot of chaff on the field. But these tanks are going to be able to absorb quite a few sniper shots before going down. Will the Mama ship die? It does.
No, not the Mama.
The Mama ship dies. Overlords are doing their best, or the Phoenix were doing their best there. They are going to claim the tower at a very important time. Does the sniper shoot? Oh, it does. It looks like there's one Phoenix left on the field versus one tank. There's no way for that tank to survive. Yep, this is going to go in the way of our red players. Unfortunately, the tank can't shoot up. Its little turret doesn't crank up that high.
Poor little guy.
I was watching a weird documentary about World War II, and the British were trying to build tanks that could shoot. I don't know if it was the British. Maybe it was one of those crazy German tanks. But they were trying to build a tank where the turret could go like straight up to shoot down incoming planes.
Like 90 degrees up?
Not like 90 degrees up, but like 70
what
degrees.
What goes up must come down.
Yeah.
You better
drive on.
Hyperdrive.
Drive on. Yeah. That would be pretty scary.
Go, go, go.
Yeah. We shot run. Yeah, hope nobody else comes in behind us. Stoned Caveman picking up the Rhino. Take My Grits gets the charged ammo. I love charged ammo. We don't see it come out very often, but canceling unit tech is so empowering for your units, especially on something like Marksman when they're in a ranged war. If all of a sudden your Marksman tags, let's say this Overlord had range on it, now the Marksman can get off another 1 or 2 shots because not only does the Overlord now have decreased range because you've taken that tech away, it also slows the unit down by 40%, just allowing your Marksman to keep shooting. Not as important because Marksman can naturally pick up that technology in their unlock tree if you do opt to choose it. However, you don't always have to choose it. Steel balls are really hurting for an upgrade here on the top. As soon as these steel balls get an upgrade, one, it doubles their HP, but that doubling of HP is shared between all of the steel balls, which just makes that damage sharing so much more important. Our top player has really, really specced into the steel balls to kind of a ludicrous degree. These would be very easily canceled by a melting point. Let's see if our red player here does pick it up. Ooh, this Overlord has been sitting on an enhancement module for several turns and has not actually earned a level. The enhancement module does allow you to upgrade your unit for free. Normally an Overlord costs 200 credits to upgrade, so any giant unit getting an enhancement module is great. Here's the steel balls in the background. Unfortunately, these Phoenix pick them up. Ooh, the steel balls have a lot of HP though, and they will be able to make it over to this fort or to the tower. Will the tower fall? Almost certainly. Meanwhile, the Vulcan and Overlords die. Yes, so the steel balls have life share and energy absorption. Doesn't look very good. They're not giving up. In come the Phoenix, and there's a lot of Phoenix. With this Rhino in support is absolutely huge. Those snipers don't know what to shoot at. There's a couple of Wasps in the background, and eventually those Wasps will kill the shield and the tower. That is unfortunate. Looks like the north side did go to our red player, so now it's going to be blue versus red crashing in the middle. Sweet Pea, give us our best casting takes.
Oh, there's just a lot happening. Everybody's fighting very hard. I like this guy up here.
The Rhino?
Yeah, the Rhino.
Old Fistabot.
Killing it. He has his little saw hand. He's like, come here, I'm gonna get you.
Bro, he's one of my favorites. Him and the hacker. Blammo! Oh no! Gets taken out right before it. They killed him. They killed him real good.
Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, that'd be pretty sweet. Well, it's going to be sniper on sniper with a couple of Stormcallers in reserve. And honestly, those Stormcallers are in a fantastic position just to lay waste to these tanks. Ooh, and that sniper shoots the level 3 sniper. That's not what you want to see.
Ooh.
All these tanks are going to drop, and that is that. Oh, hey. I guess these Fang went back. Dude, Fang are so cute. Look at these little boys. Oh, Jesus. The camera is very aggressive sometimes. I'm sorry about that, folks. They are just absolutely adorable. I like that they gave the robot shields. Like
They're like the lollipop kids.
they're like the lollipop kids. Man, that guy got mega. What the heck is a lollipop kid?
From the Wizard
Strawberry
of Oz.
Shortcakes?
No.
The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, you know the little kids that come out when they meet the Good Witch Glenda, and they're like, "We are the lollipop kids." You never saw that?
I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm
So
like
when
10 years
Dorothy-
older than you,
when-
and I have
No,
no
you're not,
memory of
Dennis.
this.
When Dorothy goes to Wonderland, is it?
Yeah.
What is it? Like the world, Oz or whatever?
Right.
They meet the Good Witch, and everybody comes out, and we're like, "We're so happy to see you." And these kids come out,
Uh-huh.
and they're the lollipop kids. They have these big lollipops, and they go, "We are the lollipop kids." The
What the hell?
You have to look it up, bro. It's super cute.
It's super cute. Oh, this sounds terrifying.
No,
No.
they're good.
I guess.
She's the Good Witch.
Well, yeah, I mean, and she's giving people lollipops. That sounds pretty
And they're
nice.
like the size of their heads
Wow. That sounds like a heart
because
attack.
they're the lollipop kids.
Because they're the lollipop kids. Did you ever go to like an amusement park where you could get lollipops that size? I remember seeing them a lot as a kid, but I never actually
I
got
don't think
one.
I ever got one.
I have never
My parents
actually
were cheap.
Well, that, and I don't think anybody ever actually buys them.
No. I
Yeah.
have gotten ones that was probably the size of my fist, but not my head.
That's a big lollipop.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez. That's a lot of
I
sugar.
don't think I finished it either.
I don't. You probably got sick. Yeah, that's not something. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Let's watch this top engagement here real quick. Ooh, these snipers, man. Level 4 snipers with a haste module. That extra 40%. Oh my god! The tower drops so fast, and that extra 40% attack really doesn't matter when there's that much hate.
Ooh, look at these big ones.
Yeah, the Overlords able to spawn into the backfield. They were drawn away from the main engagement, and honestly, that might doom this engagement. But having this Overlord backup will be exceedingly important for this background. Ooh, my god. Steel balls are going to drop. Overlords are doing a lot of extra damage here. And they do have the Wasp spawns. Wasp spawns are incredibly important because the Wasps are just free units.
But wait, where are they actually at? I don't see their...
These are the little Wasps.
But you see all of them coming in? I can just see the shadows.
Oh, yes. Here's the Phoenix. So it's the re-engagement down the center, but these Wasps will, every 30 seconds or so, come in from the Overlords. So the Overlords are acting as summoning units right now. Very powerful because if these were enemy snipers, which they are, they'll all shoot Wasps first, which allow the Overlords, which are your main damage dealers, to get in there, spawn more Wasps, and start shooting down snipers. Oh, and the Overlord does get a couple. If it earns itself a level, that's very important. Will it get one? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, that's a shame. Just leveling your units is so incredibly important because it doubles all of their stats. And it's cheaper than buying a new one. It's exactly half the cost of purchasing the unit. So for half the cost, you double up, but you suffer from not having extra unit entities. Stone Caveman thinks that the game's going to last a while, ends up picking the top supply specialist. I think that is a great decision here. Ooh, and so does his compatriot. All right, over the next couple of turns, they're going to have a lot of extra HP. Only one blue player... Oh, no, both blue players grabbed the top supply as well. Oh, am I reading this wrong? Yeah, the red players did not take the top supply. So top supply is an investment. You know, that $200, you'll get 150 back next turn and 150 back the turn after that. It's an investment, but if the game continues to go longer and longer, it's $100, it's $100 or $250, so on and so forth. Steel balls out the wazoo here for our blue players. I mean, he loves them. He's got a lot of them. These marksmen are earning a lot of levels, though, and that is scary. Very, very scary. That the tough marksmen. Although marksmen have been nerfed time and time again, we still see them dominating the Mechabellum field. Tell me all about the Vulcan, Sweet Pea. Look at this cute little boy.
I don't know much about him, but he looks very strong. He's the one that shoots the fire, right?
Yep, he's the one with the flamethrower. He's going to get cut down here very quickly, as these snipers do have the double shot and range. Or actually, quick reload. The quick reload
But
is...
why did they destroy him so fast?
Because snipers do a lot of single point damage.
He didn't
And
seem like very strong.
No, not against all of this type of fire.
Yeah.
Vulcans
so the
are...
other team was putting all their fire force into killing him?
Correct. So unfortunately, all of these overlords got pulled away to the north, which meant that the blue player in the bottom here was just absolutely able to dominate. But it does mean that our red players have basically a combined army and a half, really 2 armies fighting one. And I like this strategy. If they're doing it on purpose, it's very powerful because it allows them to use this combined aerial and ground assault. That's quite strong. And man, these overlords just spawned another wave of wasps. Very, very important because these wasps, one, deal a little bit of damage, but of course are just great shields for the overlords. And the wasps have shields. Oh my god, these snipers don't stand a chance. Our blue players are really going to have to make this up with time. The longer these matches can go on, the more rounds they can survive. Ooh, no, that's it. Top supply specialist, the famous trap. GG. Congratulations to Dr. Pouncy Kitten and Glorious Inviction. Is that right? Inviction? Invocation. Also, Stoned Caveman and Take My Grits. I greatly appreciate you guys sending in these replays. If you want to see more replays with Bree and I casting, please send them to the email below, and we'd be happy to cast. Until then, like, favorite, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the future.
Is favoriting still a thing?
I don't think so.
Bye, guys.
Bye.